The library that remembered your name in the quiet European city of Silver Hollow. There stood an old building everyone walked past but never entered, the Grand Library of Echoes. The windows were tall, the doors were carved with strange symbols, and pigeons always sat on its roof like silent guards. People said the library was strange. They whispered, "The books inside remember you." Most children avoided it, except Milla. Milla was 12, curious, brave, and endlessly full of questions. Her best friend Ethan joked a lot and pretended he was anything though he actually was. One foggy afternoon after school, Milla stopped in front of the great wooden doors. Ethan tugged her sleeve. "Let's go, it's creepy." Milla smiled. Books never hurt anyone. They pushed the heavy door. It opened without a sound. Inside, thousands of books towered up to the ceiling like silent trees. Dust danced in the beams of light. A soft ticking echoed, though there were no clocks. Behind a desk sat Mrs. Alara, an elderly librarian with silver hair and eyes that looked like they had seen centuries. "You're late," she said calmly. "We have never been here," Ethan whispered. She smiled. "The library remembers those who will come." Milla felt a shiver, not of fear, but of wonder. Ilara led them through aisles where books whispered like wind in leaves. "These are not ordinary books," she said softly. "They show you the story you need, not the one you want." She handed Milla a dark blue book with no title. "Open only if you are ready to face yourself." Milla opened the book. There were no printed words. Instead, the pages filled themselves like moving pictures. She saw herself ignoring a quiet classmate, snapping at her brother, promising to help her mother, and forgetting laughing when someone else was embarrassed. Her heart squeezed. The book wasn't about heroes or dragons. It was about her. Ethan opened a book too. It showed him making jokes that hurt others, hiding his fear behind laughter, pretending not to care when he cared deeply. He closed it quickly. "I don't like this," he whispered. Mrs. Elara's voice echoed. "Stories shape the world, but your choices shape your story." Books around them began glowing softly. They followed Alara to a hidden staircase, spiraling down into darkness. At the bottom was a room glowing with floating pages. Thousands of them. "These," said Alara, "are unwritten endings. Every child's life has many possible endings. Which one becomes real depends on the choices they make." Milla stepped forward. She saw pages with Milla the kind leader, Milla the lonely adult, Milla the helper of many, Milla the girl who stopped dreaming. She understood something powerful. The future is not waiting. It is asking. Alara raised her hand. "One question decides the ending you walk toward." The room stilled. "What matters more?" she asked, her eyes glowing. "Being right or being kind?" Milla thought of arguing, winning, proving, shouting. Then she thought of the girl she had ignored, of her brother, of Ethan. She whispered, "Being kind." The books flared like stars. Pages swirled around her, forming a bright path. One page stopped before her chest and sank inside like light entering her heart. Alara smiled gently. The library remembers your answer. They walked back into the sunlight. The city looked the same and completely different. Miller saw the quiet classmate the next day and sat beside her. Ethan stopped using jokes as shields and apologized when he hurt someone. They became different people, not perfect, but aware. Weeks later, they went back. The library was gone. Only an empty space remained, and pigeons on an invisible roof. Ethan whispered, "Did we imagine it?" Miller smiled. "No, it remembered us." Moral of the story: the biggest magic in the world is not in books or buildings. It is in the choices you make every day. Being right makes you clever. Being kind makes you great.